Now, the former US President Donald Trump has announced his political comeback. At his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida, the election denier told a cheering crowd that he is running again for president in 2024.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and my fellow citizens, America's comeback starts right now. In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
Our Washington correspondent Carolina Chimoy was at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort in Palm Beach, Florida, for that announcement, and she sent us her assessment.
Just as expected, former President Donald Trump announced that he is going to run for president again in 2024. His speech, however, was nothing new. He went through the old talking points we've already heard during his presidential campaign and at different moments. He talked a lot about immigration, a lot about the economic situation, and about foreign policy. On immigration, he promised that on his day number 1 as a president, he would deport all undocumented immigrants who are right now in the United States. He also said that he had completed the wall at the southern border of the United States, something that is just not true. We have been there, and we all know that that wall has not been completed. On the economic side, he promised the U.S. voters that he will solve the economic problem, that he would solve the high inflation where the United States is at right now, and the threat of a recession in this country. Summing up, it was a speech that lasted a bit over an hour and that didn't really bring new messages to the voters. It remains now a question mark if the Republican Party will stick to Donald Trump as his candidate for the presidential elections in 2024, or if someone else and someone new with more support in the Republican Party and among the voters might be the new presidential candidate for the year 2024. It's up to the GOP now.
Carolina Chimoy reporting there from Florida. Now, there are signs of growing support for the Republican rising star Ron DeSantis, as some Republicans say that it is time to move on from Donald Trump. Some blame the former president for the party's poor showing in the midterms and are pinning their hopes on DeSantis.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis soared to re-election victory in the midterms, winning by a huge margin.
We've accomplished more than anybody thought possible 4 years ago, but we've got so much more to do, and I have only begun to fight.
DeSantis' ambitions go beyond Florida. He has become a strong contender for the Republican Party's next candidate for president. That would make him a bitter rival for former President Donald Trump, who's being blamed for the party's worse-than-expected midterm results. Trump originally championed DeSantis and takes credit for DeSantis' election to governor in 2018. But he has warned DeSantis against running as a presidential candidate and recently coined a mocking nickname for him.
Ron DeSanctimonious at 10%.
DeSantis is a hardline conservative who's been called Trump with brains. He's seen as offering a more constructive take on the America First doctrine and rails against what he calls the woke liberal agenda.
We fight the woke in the legislature. We fight the woke in the schools. We fight the woke in the corporations. We will never, ever surrender to the woke mob. Florida is where woke goes to die.
DeSantis' decisive midterms win, a contrast to many Trump-backed candidates, has boosted support for the Florida governor. But Trump still has a firm grip on the Republican base, and anyone challenging him knows they'll be facing an unrelenting battle.